The divisional week has come and gone. Welcome back to Weekly Recess here. It's Mitchell Lea. It's Tommy Grant. It's Brandon 2. And Connor Vandemark has decided to grace us with his presence now that he's done tearing ACLs. Is that what happened here, Connor?
ACL tear, and I tore two meniscus in my knee.
That sounds awful. I pray for you.
I'm already
That's
walking,
not
so
the,
I'm. It's coming along. It's like I go to my PT and everything, but it's coming along.
Hey, kids, listen up. Physical therapy is extremely important when you suffer a big injury. Don't take that lightly.
Yes, it is.
So, all right, let's dive into this thing, shall we? Let's not talk about anything else. These divisional games for the next 4 hours. Just kidding. We're not going that long. I'd shoot myself in the head. Actually, I wouldn't. I'd be just fine. Where do we want to start?
Solid, Mitchell. Solid.
I think we should start off with.
Hey, why not just go in order?
Yeah, just go in order.
Okay, well, let's start off with the game that was probably the least fun to watch, if we're being honest. Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs win 23-14. And this was a classic case of Kansas City Chiefs football in 2024. And I expected someone to come in here with the, how do I say it, pissy remark like that. And look, I'll be honest, I understand that game was poorly officiated, but regardless, the Texans weren't beating the Chiefs in that game. They scored one offensive touchdown.
Yeah.
They missed 3 field goals. They were horrendous on special teams all the way throughout.
They gave up a return touchdown, did they not?
They very nearly, they basically did.
Okay.
Yeah, on the first play of the game. Also, just a word of advice, it helps to not leave the best tight end of the last decade in the NFL wide open in front of the quarterback's face for half of the damn game. So, no, I don't feel any sympathy for the Houston Texans as far as the calls go, because regardless, they weren't winning this game because they pissed right down their leg any opportunity that C.J. Stroud, Joe Mixon, or that defensive front gave them to win this game.
I feel bad saying this, Mitchell. I had this game in the background, kind of. This game was over by like the second quarter. In my it felt that way.
The game never
started.
I mean?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a great
boring game in the first quarter, and then it just slowed down in the third, and then Kansas City said "fuck you" in the fourth quarter and just started doing everything they could.
C.J. Stroud was fighting, but he also held on to the ball for way too long, and part of that. There's a lot of different reasons.
He got sacked.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, let's be honest.
8 sacks in that game.
He doesn't have any weapons. Let's
other than Nico Collins, no one was getting open.
Yeah, no one's getting open. No one's creating separation. So he has to hold the ball to try to extend the play.
You say that
leads to more sacks. You know what I mean?
They had a total of 336 yards compared to the Chiefs, who only had 212. The Chiefs just managed to get the ball down the field.
But those are yards I like to call empty calories. Tommy, that's like when I like to eat my ice cream bars. That's empty calories. I shouldn't be eating that. That's what the Texans were doing. Yeah, exactly. The beer you're drinking right now is empty calories. The idea is when you got to score, and they didn't score, and that was the problem. You left 9 points on the board with field goals. I mean, you're not going to win a game that way. I don't have any sympathy for them. I will say this: it felt like Kelsey was going to be let out of the garage. The Ferrari was going to be let out of the garage at some point, Mitchell, and I guess
I don't even know if this was some great Travis Kelce game.
I don't think it was.
They just didn't guard him. He didn't do anything special. He just sat. He sat in the middle of the field, 8 yards down the field, and was like, "Oh shit! Well, no one's in my area code."
Yeah, he's like, "Let me just sit down and zone real quick."
Marking all season and just being mediocre and saying, "You know what? I'm going to actually just." I'm going to act bad, so in the playoffs nobody protects me.
As someone who has Travis Kelce stock in fantasy, it's annoying, but he is still one of the quote unquote best tight ends in football when he wants to be. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but I just don't think he, like you said, Tommy, he just doesn't. He just coasts for most of the season, and it's like, oh, playoff time to.
It's
time to
like
go.
Gronk
He
at the
wants
end
to
of
stay
his
healthy
career
so
with
he
the
can go all out
Patriots.
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I also think he wants to stay healthy because he just doesn't want to get hurt, so he can retire and just enjoy being retired.
Yeah, well,
do we think he's
his
going to
life
go for another
his
season?
life is great. I mean, if you're Kelsey, your life is pretty good right now. Let's be honest. They just had LeBron on their podcast, like Cleveland boys getting to talk to LeBron. I mean, their life's pretty good right now. For being honest,
The Texans had multiple drives of
Yeah, the
over 40
Texans
plus
are-
yards.
I was
That
about
got
to get
no
there.
points.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
empty calories, is it not? Is it not, Connor? That's empty calories. Like
That's about to get there. It's like they only had 3 drives over 50 yards, and that led to a touchdown.
a touchdown.
A touchdown.
That's crazy.
A touchdown and a field goal. That was the first one they
But
get. And
I
then
feel like the Chiefs do this all year. Had they not? Like they let you get to the red zone and then they tighten up. I mean, I feel like that's
but the thing is, like this is a Houston team, because I was on the podcast last week, but like I expected better from the Chargers, and I
Right.
thought the Chargers would at least.
We all did.
I thought the Chargers would play like the Chiefs did this game and just kind of manage the game, and because as we saw, Houston, yeah, they have some talent. Like they have also dealing with some injuries too. Like
Yeah.
not having Tank Dell hurts like hell.
Having Diggs and Dell for this game would have been extremely helpful.
Yes, and like no, not having their talons declawed definitely does not help. But like
yeah.
no, the Chiefs with their defense, they're going to play their game and they're going to play at their pace, and you have to deal with it. You have to find a way to make it your type of your pace of play in order to beat them. That's the only time the Chiefs can lose, and because you can't, if you play down to their style, you're not going to win.
I mean, they possess the ball. They get the ball to their playmakers when they need to.
They're
Like,
efficient. That's
yeah.
how they win. They
That's
they
what
run
they do.
efficiency.
yeah. No, 100%. Not to backtrack to the Chargers Texans game, but I got to see a little bit of that on all 22, and you could probably call like 85% of the plays somebody blew an assignment on the Chargers. So I won't say that Justin Herbert played well because he didn't. He played awful, but it wasn't all on Justin Herbert. That team did not show up for a playoff game.
No.
And as someone who on the podcast last week, Connor, said that I believe that this might have been like Justin Herbert's like playoff run type playoffs. We did not get that this playoffs.
I know.
So,
I had him going at least deep, and because
I'm with you.
and I was like, oh, like
I didn't have them beating the Chiefs, but I had them. I like Mitchell. There was real conversation. Like if they get to this game, they're going to give the Chiefs like a good game. Whereas like we all felt the Texans were not going to really give them a game. I mean,
I thought the Texans were going to give them a game because of the fact that the Texans matched
their
up
defensive
well
line
with,
is sick.
Their
I will say
defensive
that.
line could at the very least make the Chiefs one-dimensional. And then if they just had a game plan to take away Kelsey, and their game plan was just give Kelsey whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. Mitchell, there's plays where Will Anderson just like literally moves guys with one hand, like he's almost like bench pressing them, and he just moves offensive linemen like out of the play and then makes a play. It is sickening how good that guy is, and their edges are sick, and their defensive line is like 6 deep of like dudes who can like get after the quarterback and stop the run game. And yeah, I just expected more from like their defensive line, and they didn't impact the game enough in my eyes. Like they didn't do enough to impact the game. And
Also,
if
one of
you're
the
not going to get
things-
good play from CJ Stroud, that's where you're going to be at.
Yeah.
One of the things that NFL teams can do to help themselves out and prevent dynasties from taking place, McDuffie
Yeah.
is. I thought McDuffie was a later first-round prospect, so it doesn't really apply for me with that pick. But I thought George Karlaftis was a top 10 talent in that draft.
I
And
mean,
they let this man slip to like 27.
It is what it is, but I mean that happens all the time.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I
What
mean,
are we
I'm
doing? I
with
mean, this
you,
guy had
but
3 sacks and single-handedly ended the game for the Chiefs.
Mitchell, that happens in every draft. Why did Peyton Pritchard go where he went to the Celtics? Like, You know, I mean, it happens in every single draft. I mean, in any sport, you're gonna miss
but
it.
sometimes it's just obvious, man. And
Fair
that
enough.
was one where I'm just like, we really let George Karlaftis go to the Chiefs. Someone I thought was better than Trayvon Walker, who went first overall. And Trayvon Walker's nowhere near the bust that some people say that he is, but they also could have gone with Aiden Hutchinson and been much better off, or a Garrett Wilson or a Sauce or Stingley and been better off. But we're not here to talk about the.
Speaking of Stingley, are we not just putting him on Kelsey at some point? Like why are we just playing zone and letting Kelsey just like sit? Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, they just keep him on the outside. I thought the linebackers there, they're like, hey, we can just Al Shire, and Al Shire was just lost.
Yeah. Well, we can move to another game because I'm kind of over talking about the Chiefs being good.
I want to say that
it was a very standard Chiefs game, and that they play a very
Connor's
right.
Connor's right. That's what they do.
That's what they do,
and they just kind of wait for you to piss down your leg. And with these dynasties, we saw it with the Patriots several times where it's like, really, that effort from the Patriots, and they still won comfortably. The Chiefs are in that era right now where it's like the teams get so in their head when they're playing these teams, and they're so out-coached, and they almost feel so on edge to not make a mistake that they overlook things like guarding Travis Kelce in the middle of the field, not committing horrific turnovers, blocking on special teams. Those kind of things are the things that get you beat against these teams, sometimes more frequently than Patrick Mahomes doing something crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right, but speaking of something,
one more thing with the Chiefs too is like I was saying before, the efficiency. Like when you have a team who's always scoring on 50% or more on their drives, you even
red zone conversion rate has to be insane. Like when they get to the red zone, they score.
Yes, and even then, like no. You're trying your best to slow them down, but 3 points against the Chiefs feel much bigger than 3 points against the Commanders.
I mean, yeah. Well, they also gave away the points, which is what their kicking game was awful. Like they didn't kick well enough. So it's like you didn't even keep yourself in the game by kicking well enough. Like,
yeah, it doesn't help. Getting a block field goal, no less. Like that doesn't it's little things, and that's how they beat. That's how they beat is the little things. All right, on to the next one.
Andy Reid.
All right, guys.
Working.
I said it last week, and I'm here to scream from the mountaintops. This is not a future thing. This is a right now thing. Jaden Daniels is a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League. He's the best quarterback in the NFC. That I feel fantastic about right now. This dude is a stone cold killer, and he came the ball against the Detroit Lions. 45-31, Washington goes in there and walks out a winner. First time they make the NFC Championship game since, 1994 or 1995? Some insane...
We were like
it might have been 95 because
we were like 1 year old.
I think Brandon might have had a tail the last time Washington made.
No,
yes, that was
It's a fetus joke.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm good. I know what you're saying.
For all the
I'm
biology people out there.
I'm just saying. I think if it was 95, I was a year old. So.
It was early in 95.
Yeah, but I'm July 4th. I'm July 4th.
It was the rise of Jaden Daniels and the fall of Jared Goff because
the fall of Jared Goff.
Night.
We'll get to the Lions. Let's focus. Winners first.
Guys,
Washington.
Connor
92.
92. Oh yeah. So I wasn't even.
We were
I wasn't
all
even
alive.
a sperm cell. Yeah. I mean, what
yeah.
Yeah. What are we doing? No. Connor, Tommy, do you guys feel that it's getting hot in here? Like I just ate a habanero. Like that take is hot. Like
I don't think it is.
That take isn't hot. That take is not hot. I was kidding. I
would say I wouldn't go top 5 yet.
Okay, who do you put over him?
It's dangerously close.
It's obvious. Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow. Who's 5?
I'd look at the list, but of course.
Like I like Drake May a lot, and Drake May is nowhere near Drake.
No,
Jalen Hurts.
I'm saying Daniels is. I'll say top 10 now.
I need to know who you're putting in the 5 over him.
I want to pump our brakes here because the fact we've seen this last year.
No. But this is different. This is different.
I was pushing back on the CJ Stroud thing.
I was pushing back. I will push back here too because the fact that
this is different.
Does he have the talent? Yes, he is a great player. I'm not discrediting him. It's more to the fact that
sounds like you are.
It's more to the fact that he is still a phenom, and he is amazing. I'm not saying that he isn't. It's more the fact that they're a team.
Be rational.
This is his first. This is his first junior league. He's taken it by storm, and we'll see how he does. But this is a player who doesn't have a lot of film yet. We'll see how defenses adjust to him in the future.
Well, no. What I want to see is when Cliff Kingsbury isn't his offensive coordinator.
Connor.
That's true. That's very true
he's
as well.
throwing the damn ball to Diami Brown.
Okay. Don't disrespect Diami Brown. Diami Brown.
Connor, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire on this.
Yes.
Who's number 5 if not Jaden Daniels? Is it Hurts? Is it Prescott? Is it Herbert?
I wouldn't say.
If you say CJ Stroud, I'm logging off.
To me,
is it crazy to say Jordan Love?
I would say Love. I think Love will get some
over
respect.
No, not over Jaden Daniels. That's the problem. I just don't think I can get to him not being top 5.
I would.
Connor,
this is how I do.
Just remember, anything you say now is still wrong in Mitchell's eyes.
I'm well aware of that.
No. I want to.
I just want to hear the reasoning.
But the thing is, there is a teardrop right now from those top, and then I would say Daniels is probably in the top of the next tier.
That's
the top. There's 1, then 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
and then a major drop.
Yes,
I will agree with you.
You think there's a major drop between Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels?
Well, I think Lamar Jackson's the number 2 quarterback in the league, right? I think it's Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow, and then I've got Jaden Daniels.
Is that? I don't think it is.
It might not be.
I am saying right now there is, because of the fact that yes, Daniels is doing an amazing job, but
so you would give Hurts would be your guy.
He still to improve it. That's to me. He's doing a great job.
So who's your 5?
Hurts is your guy.
Probably Hurts. It will probably have to be Hurts.
We'll come back to Jalen Hurts. Put a pin in that one.
Because the thing is with Hurts, yeah, he's not doing great this year, but he's done it before. I've seen it. I've seen it with him.
Jalen Hurts is my number 6, so I get it. That is it's closest for me.
Can I interest you in some? Okay, I want to say it. I want to say it.
If you say Sam Darnold, I'm going to kick your ass.
Can I interest you in some Jared Goff stock?
You know what the worst part is? I fucking thought of him too.
Yeah, I was like,
I love golf. I love golf.
I've got him 11 or 12.
Yeah,
I put 8 or 9.
I want to put it this way: people are debating Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. I love Drake May and Caleb Williams.
It's not a comparison anymore. No,
it's not a comparison.
We're comparing Jaden Daniels to Burrow.
Jaden Daniels is a freak.
No,
he is a freak. And I will say this, Connor. I know you he hasn't proven it on the NFL level. He has played a lot of football. Mitchell. It's 1 year.
He hasn't proven it on the NFL level.
Mitchell, it's 1 year. You got to do it.
Were you watching the game on Saturday?
Mitchell, it's 1 year. You got to do it. You got to do it again. Connor is right. there is a sense of
he hasn't proven it over multiple seasons. But he's proven this is the best rookie quarterback season I've ever seen.
You've ever seen?
Ever seen? And I said that before the Lions game.
Okay.
Now I'm just flabbergasted.
In that tier 2, I would also throw Baker Mayfield.
Okay, well, yeah, we like Baker's nuts. If we're being
I love Baker.
We like Baker's nuts, we do. We think Baker is a gamer. I can't believe walk away from him.
Baker's a gamer. He really is. But I would throw Baker.
Baker's number 14 or 15.
Okay. So where's Drake May? In all seriousness,
22.
Stop. I'm talking about upside. I'm talking about you want to start.
That's not how I rank my damn quarterbacks.
That's not the conversation here. Because upside, Jaden Daniels will be probably top 3.
Okay,
Yeah, Jaden Daniels might be like number 1 right now.
Okay, that's fair.
That's say that's two different conversations. Like right now,
Okay.
I will pump the brakes and like look, if he wins Super Bowl, fucking go crazy, kid. Like why not? But like,
hey man,
Yeah.
he's close
Dude,
to it.
If he
he's
wins
close
a
to
Super
it. He's
Bowl-
2 wins away.
If he wins a Super Bowl, we're gonna have like real
Halfway
conversations
there.
about like, is he Mahomes? Like,
will-
Hall of
will have
Famer
it's
already.
just-
in a little bit.
Well, let's flip it though, because on the other side of the coin though is we had a Lions defense, as me and Mitch were talking about before, that is ridiculously hurt.
Oh yeah.
Very fair. Very fair. No, I
mean, guys, I think
I
we're
see
really
where you're
overlooking.
coming from with this. He also had a decimated receiving core, and he had the best offensive lineman, Samuel Cosmi, tore his ACL in that game. That's the best offensive lineman that Washington has. So he definitely lost something there.
I like the right
well.
tackle, though. I will say it every single time it comes up. Their right tackle is sick. Their right tackle's awesome. So, like, what do you mean he's just missing dudes? Like, his offensive line is awesome.
No, but the
I
best.
I know he's missing a guy, but
Cosmi's their best offensive lineman, and he definitely is gonna be missed for them. But let's pivot over to Detroit for just a second.
No,
this was the team that everyone felt like was going to win the Super Bowl this year,
Mitchell,
until they didn't.
The Detroit conversation is easy. At some point, Dan Campbell has to realize, I have David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. I need to run the ball, keep the ball out of Jaden Daniels' hands, and bleed clock. Why are they giving the ball to Jameson Williams and an opportunity to throw the ball?
They got way too cute, and that's something that happens with Ben Johnson quite a bit in these big playoff moments where you just kind of a little bit too much in your bag of tricks, and you have 4 different people throwing passes in a playoff game, including one of them being you're 1 possession down in the 4th quarter, and Jameson Williams is throwing just horrible passes down the field.
Jameson shouldn't throw that ball. I'm not gonna put it on Ben Johnson because Jameson should tuck that ball and run. He shouldn't throw that ball. But the fact that you put him in a position to throw that ball is insane. And I'll go back to, you have a 2-headed monster. You have Knuckles and Sonic back there just obliterating people. You give him the ball.
Yeah, but Knuckles was a little banged up.
Who gives a fuck?
Probably Knuckles' hamstrings, but
I mean, seriously, give him the ball. What are we doing? Like, why are we pushing the ball down the field? I like Jared Goff. I just said,
not a good Goff game.
In top
Let's call
7
it what it is.
Jared Goff QB stock, but like, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs needs the ball, right?
Too, like he was looking.
Yeah, he was getting whacked. I mean, yeah, he was getting whacked.
He threw some really bad interceptions that put them in some really tough spots. I do think that Goff definitely has to shoulder some of the blame here, and there are going to be some people that use this game.
They're such a good team. I don't want to
use this game as a launching pad to the, can we ever win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff as our quarterback?
That's gross and unfair,
and
right?
Especially, I don't know if it is, because especially Ben Johnson's left. He's now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. It looks like Aaron Glenn is about to become the head coach of the New York Jets. All signs kind of seem to be pointing in that direction. So the Lions are going to lose their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. And Mark Brunell was also a big part of that Lions offense. Aaron Glenn is looking at him to be the offensive coordinator for the Jets. So
there offensive coordinator?
There could be an extreme brain drain coming out of Detroit, and this might have been their shot. You know, they got to pay Aiden Hutchinson. They just paid Amon-Ra. They just paid Penei Sewell.
Imagine if they had a healthy defense, though. Like if
they had a healthy defense, I think they win this game, and I think they would be a clear favorite to win the Super Bowl. I think that they were the favorite entering the playoffs to win the Super Bowl, even with this banged up defense. I know a lot of people have really been bagging on Detroit Lions fans because they've been loud and boisterous and really excited about this season. I feel bad for Lions fans because
yeah,
this was the year it was all supposed to come together, and then the injuries just kind of one by one and in rapid succession. It seemed like there were games where they would lose 3-4 key pieces to that defense. I mean, Aleem McNeil, if he's on that defensive line, Washington's not running for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns because he's a major part of that run defense. They missed so many corners. I mean, Carlton Davis was hurt earlier in the year. They lost Amik Robertson in the game. Aiden Hutchinson was on a tear to maybe win Defensive Player of the Year before he got hurt. The Lions lost so much defensively. They're losing so many assistant coaches, and I just don't know if it's going to be the same.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but people take playoff success and playoffs there's way too much weight to it. I get it. It's about winning championships. It's about winning in the playoffs. But I hate that people are going to look at this Lions season and be like, well, they didn't get it done. And it's like they also were the best team by far throughout the entire season with as much injuries as they went through.
Part of me agrees with that. And part of me, I think that last year was the year where it's like, wow, look at what we've done. This is so cool. We haven't been here before. And then this was the season where, okay.
it feels like a choke. It does.
We've got to, at the very least, make the Super Bowl and do something that hasn't been done in our franchise history by making the Super Bowl at the very least. And they couldn't even get past that first playoff game. I think that they might be the most disappointing team in the playoffs this season. I think the Minnesota Vikings offer some strong competition to that because they were both playing for that 1 seed in the last game of the year, and neither of them won a single playoff game.
Well, we're going to change the division where you're not the 4 seed or the 7 seed if you lose your division. Is that going to be a thing, or a 5 seed? Sorry, is that going to are we going to get a rule change because of the 7 teams?
I kind of like for it to just be record based, but each division winner has to make it in. So you might have a division winner, but they're the 7 seed going on the road.
Yeah, I'm much rather. I understand making divisions important and getting the top 4 seed. I totally understand that because if you ask most teams, it's not about making the playoffs; it's about winning your division. At the beginning of the year, let's win the division. That's what it's about. But I also, this is with any sport like basketball, baseball, hockey. I don't like the divisions affecting seeding personally.
I'm with
just a me thing.
But. No, I agree with that too. And Mitchell, you were saying before, it will be a big test whoever comes in to become their offensive coordinator. But in fairness, this is
they still have so much talent.
Yeah, it's a young team that has talent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Brown. He's only 25 years old.
He's so good.
He's only 25. He's so damn good. He's so damn good. And
he's available in our my dynasty.
I'm not giving him 3 fucking first round picks for him.
No, you're giving me 4 first round picks for him.
But Goff is 30 years old. He is getting older, and he isn't going to burn the house down. But he's always been a consistent quarterback for this team, and I think that. I wouldn't say the window's closed yet. We'll see what happens. We saw with the Eagles where they had both their OC and DC both leave and they went to shit. But we have to see what the new OC does, and we'll see if they can figure it out. And I have confidence that they will still be a good team next year. I think they'll make the playoffs next year. I'll say that right now.
Oh yeah, I think they should be a clear favorite to win the division next year.
I wouldn't say clear favorite to win the division, but they should be up there.
Yeah,
that division itself is hell. Let's be real.
No, it is. Yeah. But if you're giving me odds right now, they're the
you take the Lions.
Yeah, they're taking the favorite to win the division. Now, Mitchell, as a transition, can I bring this up? Who won?
Depends on where you're going.
Who won the Matthew Stafford Jared Goff trade?
The team that won the Super Bowl. That's the team that won the trade. They both did very well for themselves. The Lions got more for Matthew Stafford than, when you take the picks and what they amounted to.
Oh my
they
gosh,
did very well for themselves. But the team that won the Super Bowl is the team that won the trade.
I agree.
And they won the Super Bowl the first year with him. It couldn't be more clear and obvious.
I like getting you riled up. I like getting you going, Mitchell.
Well,
like that's what I want. That's what I want. Yeah.
Eagles won 28-22. Yeah, haha. My Super Bowl pick survives. They win 28-22. Saquon Barkley.
The Chiefs Eagles and they're still alive? Man, I'm cooking.
Well, I picked Ravens Eagles, but we'll talk about that later. Saquon Barkley, the MVP of the league, mind you. He better fucking be.
He's not going
232 yards from scrimmage,
sadly.
2
it's
touchdowns.
It's a QB award, Mitchell. It's a QB
I don't give a damn. It's called MVP, not MVQ. Saquon Barkley should have won this award. Maybe he did. I don't know. I'm not from the damn future. But if Saquon Barkley is not on the Eagles for this game, the Rams are advancing. And the Rams are playing the Commanders next week. The Eagles are going home.
That snow was nasty.
Saquon Barkley put the chains on the tires and said, "Let's go! Mitchell, I got you." Vroom vroom.
He had the plow in front of the. He had the snow plow on. Like he was just clearing the way.
While AJ Brown was reading books, catching 2 passes for 14 yards on 7 targets.
Honestly, Mitchell, the most iconic shots in like NFL season are when Jalen Hurts hands the ball in RPO and Saquon's like, "Give me that shit," and just runs for 55 yards, and then Jalen Hurts goes, "Yeah."
Everybody knows.
I did that.
To have all the cameras on Saquon Barkley because he explodes every fucking time.
Dude, he's the best.
Look at the yard stats for the fucking Eagles team. You have Saquon with 205 yards rushing. You also have him with 27 yards receiving. Jalen Hurts has 70 yards rushing.
I'm going to come on this podcast every week, Tommy.
Put up a total of like 20 yards each. Nobody else played offense. It was just Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts assisting.
Well, the offensive line played up. I'll tell you that right now.
Fine. Now, I did find it funny that they both got on the interview post-game and they were like, "Well, we wanted 300 yards rushing, so we feel bad. We might have to give the offensive line some stakes or something." I was like, 300 yards? I was like, Jesus. It was a blizzard. I was like, what are you guys talking about? But
by the way,
Mitchell, I'm going to come on this podcast every week. I'm going to predict Saquon Barkley 220 to 250 yards. Like I'm just going to. Like he's a freak.
Most
Mitchell.
weeks you would be, as much as I love him, you would only be correct 2 weeks out of the year. So
I could care less.
You are very wrong. However,
debut season.
However,
the Eagles know that it works now, so he's going to get.
However, Tommy.
Yes, Mitchell. Please go ahead, dear.
Both of those games have come against the Los Angeles Rams.
I know.
He ran for 255 yards on them in the regular season, and when they held him to 205, this was massive improvement. They did much better this time because
he had to show them who the real Ram was.
He showed up. built like a Dodge. Like what?
I also got to say major props to the young defensive lineman in this game. Jalen Carter, his presence was felt throughout the game.
You can say Jared Verse. You can say Jared Verse.
I'm about to. The ultimate Fletcher Cox replacement in Jalen Carter. He's been fantastic. A great get for them.
People thought it was a terrible pick, by the way. People thought it was a bad pick. And
they thought it was a bad pick for off-field stuff, not on-field stuff. Because the on-field Jalen Carter was
the culture, Mitchell. The culture they can survive the off-field stuff.
But Jared Verse, this is another guy that I thought was a top 10 talent.
Yeah.
In the 2024 draft.
Oh, he was moving dudes. They
just let him slide on down the draft board to the Los Angeles Rams, and
also
Jared Verse.
Props to him, Mitchell. Props. He got into Philadelphia and he played the villain. He played the villain. He knew. He played it up. He was playing to the crowd. He was like, yeah, I know you guys hate me. Like bring it on. Like I love this. Like you need a little bit of that like edge. Like they even said it on the broadcast. Like Collinsworth was like, I think Florida State was missing that this year. Like
Yeah.
Jared Verse
Oh,
brings
100%.
that like edge, like that competitiveness. Like like give it to me. Like I want this.
But this is
he does
another
every
case
play.
of
He plays it every play. It's ridiculous.
this is another case of don't read the box scores because Jared Verse only had 4.5 sacks this season, but I think he was top 15 in pressures.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
he
I mean, I
was
can look that
living
up.
in the backfield.
I can look that up at my company and let you know next week if he was actually top. I think he was for sure.
Please do,
At ours,
because
I'm sure at
he was.
PFF he probably was, and you know PFF's grades and whatnot, like whether you believe in those or not. I kind
I
of
don't believe in
take
their
some stock in them.
grades.
Take some stock in it, but yeah.
I don't believe in their grades, but as far as like the pressure numbers and that type of thing, they do a good job of tracking those.
Yeah,
So that's always a good resource. What do you guys think about Jalen Hurts? Where do you stand right now? Because
Tommy's
Jalen
right.
Hurts, a lot of people were coming down on him.
He knows his role on the team. Hand the ball to Saquon Barkley and step aside.
I mean, I hate to reduce him
Tell
to
me I'm
that.
wrong.
I hate to reduce him to that, but like
They have a great.
no,
they have
this
a great
game,
dynamic
this
going.
game,
They
that's
have
what it
a-
felt like because of the snow. It was like
It's not
Yeah,
even that.
the
They
Yeah,
have a
the
great-
weather didn't help that.
yeah,
They
hand
have
the
a
ball
great
out.
team dynamic. They have a stellar defense, and they have a star offense. One player. That's all they need. As long as they can stop the other team.
I
from
mean, you say
scoring and
that,
let
but
Saquon
Devontae
lose,
Smith
that's
and
all they
AJ
need.
Brown are very good.
Once
Yes,
that
but
inner
that-
excellence becomes on-field excellence, AJ Brown
What?
just
Dude,
can't wait.
Why are you crapping on him for reading a book? He's read a book since like week 3. Like get over it. Like,
Okay, you can wait. Wait, you're gonna be home soon.
he's been putting productivity up all year. Like what?
All year, he ain't done diddly poo in the playoffs.
They don't need him to. It's Saquon's show, baby.
But like, imagine if he did though.
We're just
Like-
we're living in Saquon's world. Like it's Saquon's world, and we're just living in it. Like
All right, well,
I'll
let's
say this though. Hold on, I want to say this. No, I
say
know,
it.
Brandon, you mentioned it before, but like the Eagles' defense though, like that.
oh yeah,
Ooh.
Two
They
fumble
held the line.
recoveries,
oh yeah.
back-to-back drives. That just deflates a team. Because the game was
Yes.
close. It was what, a 15-16 game at that point. Like the
Mhm.
game was still up in the air.
But that's what I'm
Cooper-
saying. Like, the
Cooper
Eagles
DeJean.
have a great dynamic. They have a stellar defense. That's all, as long as their defense holds, they just have to rely on Saquon or fucking run the ball. That's all they need to do.
It's
The
not
defense
just
is
it's
back
not
there.
just Cooper DeJean, but Cooper DeJean is my guy. Like that dude.
Why? 'Cause
He's
white?
your Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, he kind of is my Jaden Daniels, and it's not because he's white. I mean that helps. But
that helped. Wow.
Talking
I
like a
like
true
Quinyon
Southerner.
Mitchell for the record.
Oh my god.
Mitchell. It's more the fact that people like clown on him because he's white and he's just
That's
like
fair.
balling, and it's like this
He-
dude. This
he's
dude is
very-
clearly one of the
he's
best
sneaky
athletes on the
fast.
field. You know, he's not sneaky fast. That's racism. Like he's just fast. Like what are we doing? Like he's one of the best athletes on the field, and it's just like yeah. And then Connor, you're right. The fumbles, I mean, they're ball hawkers, dude. They ball hawk. Like they go after turnovers like all the time. It's ridiculous.
Zach Bond was a linebacker I loved coming out of Wisconsin, and I
Yeah.
chalked him up as like, oh
Dude,
man,
Wisconsin
that was one that didn't
linebackers
really work out
are-
for me. But then once he got to Philly, he became like a superstar.
Yeah, Wisconsin linebackers are like, yeah, that's Midwest.
It
Like,
that
you want-
cheese.
Yeah, that's Midwest. Like that's Midwest
got
country.
Big
that
Ten
dairy
football,
in
baby. Big Ten football.
Yeah, Big Ten football.
All right, well, let's talk about the game of the weekend. The one I
our
was
Lord-
looking
This
forward
our
game
to.
Lord
was
and Savior,
awesome.
Josh
I was
Allen.
I was at a brewery and I drank like 3 or 4 beers. This game was sick. This game was
27-25 Bills win. All right, so we could start with a number of things. First
awesome.
things,
You can
First
start
thing
where
I'm
you
gonna
wanna
discuss.
Start. You can start where you want to start. Come
I'm
on.
going to start with
The
The
it's
game
right
ending
there.
play.
one.
It's right
I'll
there
say
in your
I'll say
name,
first
Mitchell.
thing, and this is a terrible thing to start with, but I do kind of want to make this point. the call that had the most impact on any game this weekend was not in the Chiefs game. It was that god awful pass interference call against the Ravens. I think it was in the second quarter. It was a horrific call, put the Bills right in the red zone. They scored a touchdown. I think that if they don't get that call, the Ravens might win that game. However, Baltimore, you don't get to complain about the refs because Lamar Jackson threw a horrendous interception, something he did not do at all in the regular season. All the interceptions went off the receiver's hands. He had a horrible fumble that the Bills picked up, ran, and I think they got at least points.
They got
out
to
of
the
that.
10-yard line or 5-yard line, I think.
You have Mark Andrews trying to hit the NFL street moves.
This is where
in the
I
fourth
thought Mitchell was
quarter
going to start.
of the game.
Yeah.
Just a horrible decision.
It's called doing too much.
And
That's what
then
it's called.
And then you have the ultimate mistake in dropping the 2-point conversion down 2 to tie the game. Mark Andrews, the all-time leader in touchdowns for the Baltimore Ravens. Playoffs can be a cruel, cruel mistress, and I'm not going to lie to you, watching that kind of made me a little sick. I would have been fine with either
He's
team
available in
winning this
our
game.
league now. He's getting
Yes.
dropped.
Well, he's always been
getting
available.
dropped.
But it kind of made me sick, not because I was rooting for the Ravens, rooting against the Bills. Either team winning would have been fine. I hate watching playoff games end on a mistake like that, on a drop or something. I'd rather see someone make an incredible play.
A missed field goal is worse, but a drop for like a 2-point conversion is probably second.
Because if he had caught the ball, that would have made it an even more intense game and even better game for the weekend.
Let's be honest. The Bills are going down the
I
field
thought
and
he
scoring.
caught it. I was standing up going, fuck, screaming at the
Tommy,
TV.
It was a perfectly drawn up play.
You know what was going to happen.
I saw it coming. I was like, God damn it, he's got it. He's got it. And the next thing you know, they showed the replay and he didn't catch it. I was like, thank God.
You know the alternate universe we would have lived in. It would have been Tyler Bass kicking for a win.
Fuck
yeah.
That's the movie.
That's true.
Tyler Bass.
Hey, he made from 55 in the snow.
Trade him to the Jets.
51 in the snow. Like,
yeah,
he
was perfect on the game, so I don't really know what you have to complain about.
No, I just don't like.
I also don't think
ever since what he did to my Dolphins, I don't like him.
Ever since he doinked,
he will never be redeemed in my eyes.
I think that people saying that this is on Lamar.
That's okay.
I thought Lamar actually played really well for most of the game.
He did turn the ball over though. I mean, he's not exonerated, but I will say this is when people get too into quarterback.
I thought he played better than Josh Allen.
Quarterbacks win you games.
Josh Allen sat back this game.
This
was a weird game for the Bills offense.
I
was kind of surprised, knowing Josh Allen, how he plays. This was not Josh Allen. He sat back. He didn't run the ball much. He only
except when he had to run over a dude to get in the end zone.
Yeah, but he only had 20 yards rushing, whereas normally he's got 50, 60, because that's all he wants to do is just fucking run the ball.
You could tell the Ravens were like spying him though, like they were trying to take it away.
Well, because they know his game, and I think they knew they had to play differently to beat them because after the smackdown the Ravens gave them earlier on in the season, they knew they had to play something different.
This is where I just don't know if the Bills have enough against the Chiefs defense. I can't believe sense. I like Shakur. I think he's fine. I think their tight ends are okay. Their tight ends are good.
Against good teams, we have Shakir and Cook. That's our big weapons.
Right. The problem is you have to expand the field at some point. You have to get the ball out and down the field, and I don't think they always do that because of the weapons they have, and that's an issue for me. So. I don't know, but Lamar balled out. I mean, he played better than Allen for most of the game.
And the thing is, too, and I'll get props to the Ravens as the team as a whole. It's Andrews got a lot of flack for that drop pass, but the game, the game ended on that play. But what's real? They came out flat that first half.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, their offense put their defense in bad positions. And because what's real, like the Bills held the Ravens held the Bills to 6 points only in the second half.
Yeah.
And they were able to march down the field to get themselves some points as well. Like this game was not out of their hands. And the fact that the players themselves, like the acknowledgement of we put ourselves in the situation for us to fail this way is the reason why we lost, not Andrew dropping the ball that one time is the why we lost. Yeah, everything accumulates at that one moment. But like, if you handled the Bills if you took care of your business in the first half, they shouldn't put themselves there in the first place.
I mean, yeah, that's the rational thing to say. Everyone should say that. That's
exactly.
not how people. That's not how people live. Like that's not even Lamar says something after the game.
I want to bring rationality.
No, I'm with you. Like I think that should be the rationale for most of people's arguments about football or discussions. But I will say this. Lamar, even after the game, and like I think he was talking about himself a little bit, but he's like, we gotta hold on to the ball. Like we gotta not turn the ball over. And it's like I feel like he was kind of talking at Andrews a little bit. I know that he was probably talking about himself too, because he also had a turnover, but it's like at the end of the day, Lamar's thinking to himself, man, I did everything I possibly could outside of a few mistakes, and we still couldn't get over the hump. Like he's just annoyed by that.
Any competitive player is going to be annoyed by it, like no matter what. But like the fact that they at least have the accountability of not bag on their player. Like,
sure. I don't think he was fully calling out Andrews by name.
No. I'm saying as a team holistically. I'm like,
yes, yeah.
I give props to the Ravens. Like, there's a reason why I've always liked them as a team, and to me, they're the one team that it sucks to see them keep losing because of the fact that I do think that as an organization and how their team is run, it's a damn good team, and I want them to see them win a Super Bowl. That's something where I try to be non-partial outside the Jets, but like I think they're a team that I've always enjoyed watching, and it sucks to see them keep being in this kind of like.
They're a very good team, and it's being here in Bills Nation, this is the one team everybody's been like horrified of watching because they're like, we're gonna lose
Lamar Henry,
really not the Chiefs.
Not worried about the Chiefs.
Not the teams that that's ruined their playoffs. Not
about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Write that one down for later.
Okay.
We had that win. We had that win in the pocket. The Ravens destroyed us in this season. Everybody was horrified. Like, this is going to be a bad game. It's going to be either really close or they're going to destroy us again.
I will mark this down.
We'll come back to that here in a couple minutes. Connor, getting back to your point, I have this weird thing. Some doctors call it autism, where I go back and I love to look at the teams for each year that have the best record, and if there's teams, like if there's two teams with like a 15-2 record, so to speak, take the team with the higher point differential, and that is like quote unquote like the best team for that year. And most of the time it's either there was a lot of Tom Brady had a ton of these teams. Peyton Manning had a few, but there aren't really a lot with like multiple seasons where like Aaron Rodgers only had one season where he would categorize as the quote unquote best team. So when everyone says that Aaron Rodgers should have multiple rings, maybe not. Lamar Jackson is the only one with multiple quote unquote missing rings without any at all, because they had the best team in 2019. They ran through everyone in Lamar's first MVP season, and then last year. And Lamar doesn't even have a Super Bowl appearance on his resume. And so Lamar Jackson will probably be a 3-time MVP before the Super Bowl.
I think this game secured him that MVP spot because as
Well,
much as
it's a
people want,
the
doesn't
voting
matter.
has been
Regular
done,
season.
so
Yeah.
oh, it has been
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, it's a
no,
regular
because if
season
that was the
award.
case, I think the Saquon Barkley
Would win it.
should have won it with
Mitchell,
the game that he
Mitchell
played.
hates when I say this, but it's a regular season award.
It is. It
Yep.
is. And so he'll probably be a 3-time MVP with a team that had the best record 2 years and doesn't have a single Super Bowl. Unfortunately, regardless of how
You know
well
what
he
type of
played,
run he's on?
he's earned the reputation of being the NFL's James Harden.
Yeah, I mean James Harden's a good one. You know what? You know what type of run he's on, Mitchell? Brett Favre.
Brett Favre won a Super Bowl early in his career.
Sure, but
People are saying more Peyton Manning because it took Peyton Manning a long time to win.
How many
and even
MVPs
get
did he
to the
have
Super Bowl.
before the Super Bowl?
How many
4?
MVPs did Peyton have? I think Peyton only had 1 MVP before he won the Super Bowl.
1? That's crazy.
Sorry, no, he had 2. But
Okay.
one of them was a co-MVP with McNair,
Ooh, that's nasty work.
which is just awful.
We have co-MVPs. They nasty.
Just awful. It should have just been Peyton Manning if we're being 100% honest. But yeah, 2 MVPs before he won his first Super Bowl.
Interesting.
And he was in the league. That was his 9th season. when
James
he won the Super
Harden.
Bowl.
James Harden seems like an unfair comparison because
Until you win one, that's what you are. You know?
Russell
Here,
Westbrook.
no, I got a good one. I know it's his different sport. Austin Matthews.
Yeah, Austin Matthews is a good one.
Because Toronto can't get its own goddamn way. And even though Austin Matthews
They can't even get out of the first round.
They got out of the first round finally last past
Yeah,
year.
finally.
But still,
That's
like they're a team that struggles in the playoffs. Even though we have some of the best players in the league, and a team that's always been phenomenally good.
All right, you really want a glimpse into the tism here? We'll go
he's the
Lamar
Mike
Jackson.
Trout. Oh,
I have Lamar Jackson, 2018. They were the 8th best team. 2019,
I'm
number
sorry.
1.
Every time he mentions his tism, I think of the Oppenheimer scene now where he starts seeing the galaxy.
Yeah, that
God.
if only.
I see.
Hit my head.
I
I'm
see
sorry. Continue.
Point
Yeah.
differentials everywhere.
2019, number 1. 2020, number 7. 2022, number 8. 2023, number 1. 2024, number 6. So
Yeah.
he should have at least one, if not multiple, Super Bowl appearances. Now we go to Josh Allen and look at this because everyone is like, okay, well, maybe it's Josh Allen's turn. 2019, they were number 9. 2020, number 3. 2021, 7. 2022, 3. 2023, 5. 2024, 5. So
Mhm.
the Bills have never had the highs that the Ravens have had in the regular season as far as like 14, 15 win type seasons, but they've been more consistently like a top 4, top 5 team. And I know that's a weird way to think about it, but
Since we pivoted to Josh Allen Lamar talk, I think this is a good question to ask. Mahomes is the best QB.
yes.
I don't think that's an argument. Whose skill set would you rather have? Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
I think it's Josh Allen.
Yeah,
But
give me the
Lamar-
rocket
but
arm and the
Lamar's-
ability to run
Lamar's
people
a
over.
beast, and the stuff Lamar does is kind of insane. But I think
yeah.
it'll be Josh Allen 9 out of 10 times. I mean, yeah, rocket arm, and you can just run dudes over because you're bigger than linebackers. Because
Are we
you're basically Cam Newton with a rocket arm and accuracy, which is crazy.
Are
to
we
think
ready
about.
for the great tism? Yes, we're ready.
Are we ready to make picks?
Oh well, we're not breaking from where we've been. Like, okay, the
What do you mean
lines
we're not
aren't there.
breaking?
Like,
What
my
do you
picks
mean
are
we're not
alive,
breaking where
baby.
we've been?
My picks are alive. I ain't worried about it.
Because I am very open to the possibility of switching up.
You would
Ooh.
switch up. You would switch.
So, NFC Championship game, 3 o'clock, Lincoln Financial Field. The Washington Commanders, led by rookie quarterback and top 5 quarterback in the league, regardless of what you say, Connor, Jaden Daniels, on the road against the Eagles.
It's like awesome.
against your top 5 quarterback, Jalen Hurts. The Eagles are favored by 6 points in this game. Funny enough, the over-under for both of these games is 47.5. I think that this game is more likely to hit the over than the Bills-Chiefs game is personally.
Yep.
But I
So-
think that... Go ahead, Tommy. All you.
Will you be giving up your Jaden Daniels blow-up doll if they lose this game?
Jeez.
Well, I gotta go. Here's the thing: I got the Jaden Daniels blow-up doll in the closet. Actually, never mind. It's on the floor next to me. But I also have the Eagles Super Bowl pick, so I gotta go against something that I love. So I'm gonna let y'all pick first, and then I will
Mitchell,
give
I'm
my
standing
deliberations.
firm on my pick. I'm
13.
going Saquon Barkley all the way. Eagles are taking that game.
yeah, go ahead, Connor, because I have something that's not pertinent to the podcast that I need to just get off my chest. But yeah, go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead, Connor.
You know, I despise them. The Eagles.
The Eagles. I love it.
Throw the batteries on horses, baby. Batteries on horses.
Yeah. Well, it's a. I'll just.
At least they're the same color.
I'll just cue the listener
Don't
in.
care
It's
about colors.
11.
Like
It's
really?
11:10 p.m. Eastern Time at 1:21, so January 21st, and the UNC Tar Heels basketball team is out of the NCAA tournament as we speak. They just lost a away game to Wake Forest, so I'm seething mad right now. Not really, I could care less. But
in life,
this
Grant.
makes
How's
me-
Duke doing?
yeah, this makes me want to pick the Eagles. Just because I just am over it. I'm over it right
We
now.
lose them.
That made so little sense that it was just like,
It doesn't
nah,
make
you
sense.
good.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. I'm picking the Eagles. I picked the Eagles before the playoffs. I'm picking them now.
UNC lost, so I'm picking the Eagles. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
I mean, they're
Um,
down 4 now. They made it 3, so they have a chance. But gross.
All right, so I picked the Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
Pick Jaden Daniels.
Okay,
Stop.
so here's the thing. The Eagles are favored by 6. I know Commanders, I think, cover that number. I think the Commanders cover that number. And I think the Commanders win the game, too. Give me Washington. Give me Jaden Daniels to stare down Lincoln Financial Field and carry the Washington Commanders, the Washington damn Commanders, into the Super Bowl. I believe in the kid.
I really don't want him to play bad. Like, I really don't, but I need this pick not to happen.
I mean, of all games, this will be the game that Jaden Daniels has to step up and really bring everything he has. Because
I'm thinking 4
Philly
touchdowns. He
fan base
has
is
to
going
get 4.
scare the crap out of the Commanders, man. They have no chance.
No.
No
I
chance.
know.
Stop it, Skip.
I think Commanders have a real chance. I want the Commanders to win. Don't get me wrong. I do. I am rooting for them. But I do.
I thought we were supposed to be non-partial.
I have no problem with either team winning, and whoever wins this game, that's who I'm rooting for in the Super Bowl,
I think
regardless
the
of
Eagles
who it
are have
is.
a 10-point
Same here.
lead on the Commanders.
Wow, 10 points.
But like, I do think the Eagles' defense is going to give them problems, and the fact that they are at home will be a problem.
Yes, it will.
Jalen Carter, Zach
And
Bond,
they have Saquon Barkley.
Bridget Jean.
Jaden Daniels is about to make
The
this a
Commanders' defense does
historic
not have
run.
anything to stop Saquon Barkley. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how you stop Saquon Barkley. Like,
Hey, they've got a pretty decent defensive front.
Yeah.
They've got
Pretty
good D
decent-
tackles.
Pretty decent isn't good enough.
No,
You know
no,
what
they've
they-
got Jonathan Allen, Johnny Newton. They got
You know what the
dudes.
Eagles are gonna do? You know what they're gonna do?
They got dudes,
the
but they don't got
pants.
the fucking Philadelphia Ram, Saquon
Mitchell,
Barkley.
You're missing it. You're missing it. They're
No,
gonna
look,
lean
I
on
love
him.
me
They're
some
gonna lean on
Saquon
him.
Barkley.
They're gonna give him
That
some
was-
inside zone,
Oh,
outside zone.
Oh, he got the lead in on him. You know what? You got me right back. I feel like I got to go to the Eagles now.
Yes.
Brandon said that they're going to lead on him. Oh, I might have to take the Eagles now.
It's gonna get to
Oh,
the fourth
man.
quarter, and they're just gonna lean on him, baby.
Oh, you know what? I can't pick against that. They're going to lean on him. I can't. Nah, I got retraction. Nah, I got to go with the Eagles. Nah,
I was waiting for him. To
no,
like,
I
bring
think
it up.
you know
was
what?
like,
I will make this prediction here. overtime.
Inside zone, outside zone. They're just gonna lean on him, dude. Like
Overtime, and
push
then
it
in
forward.
overtime, the Eagles are just gonna lean on them.
Tush
You
push.
know it.
Tush push. They're just gonna lean forward.
They're gonna lean on them. Oh man, Brandon, that's some good stuff right there. No, I think the Philadelphia Eagles get the win in overtime.
Damn right you do. Throw out that Jaden Daniels blow up doll and
Oh
come
my
on the
God.
Eagles,
Yeah,
baby.
well, I can still have some fun with it.
This is
but,
so dumb. Jaden Daniels blow up though.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell that came from. Oh,
Yeah, calm down. Top 5 QB though. I will. It's close. It's close.
all right. So AFC Championship game: Buffalo
Okay.
Bills, Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 2 in this game.
That's that just means like
I
basically
think this
it's a
game is going to
toss-up,
come
right?
down to the
That's what
wire.
that means.
Coin toss, yeah.
Yeah, coin toss basically.
Depends on how badly the Chiefs refs want to pick on Josh Allen.
Gosh, man, this ref thing is. Nick Wright
just
did.
know it riles Mitchell
Nick
up.
Wright did a whole analysis. Like Josh Allen actually is in like the 97th percentile of like QB roughing the passer calls. Like if you
And Josh Allen got the beneficiary of the worst call of the weekend. So
Yeah, I mean, where Cam Newton wasn't getting those calls. Just kidding.
it's very true.
He wasn't though.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you're right.
No, I
Bills
mean,
are going to be on the road. It's going to be against the
Those
Chiefs.
racist
I
refs.
think it's going to be a 2-point game.
yeah, that's it. The refs are just getting paid off. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys pick first because I'm a little conflicted again.
Give me the Kansas City Chefs.
I
Little
gotta go with my
advertisement reference. Give me the Chefs. So Bills. That was predictable, Tommy. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hey,
That was
I'm
predictable.
fully a fledged member of the Buffalo Bills Mafia.
Connor, I
Except for
feel,
the fact that you're a Dolphins fan.
yeah,
Yeah, it's all right.
Connor, I can feel it. Do you want me to like reach across the screen and think about?
I
which
hate
one
this
you-
game. I hate this game
Yeah,
so much.
I know you do. I'm like,
You've hated both games.
No. The Commanders
Bills.
Eagle game I like. That game I'm enjoying too. This game I am going to hate watch.
Why?
he wants both teams to perform badly. Like he wants this
Yeah.
to be like
I want a good game,
He,
but at the same
he
time,
wants Lamar to
like,
rip his shirt off and find a way to win the game.
it's going with the Chiefs. I think it's just to be the
Yeah.
horror story of the Bills just continue.
Wow, that's tough. I mean, they should write another documentary. 4 Falls of Buffalo. Add another 3.
Dude, I'm going to have to move.
The 7 Falls of Buffalo. Like,
This city can't take a loss. It's going to be bad if they lose.
Unfortunately, Tommy, I also think that the Chiefs are going to win this football game.
that is tough.
I hope they don't. I will say that.
I
don't
know
wanna win.
there's been a debate among Jets fans, and it seems to be like most Jets fans are rooting for the Chiefs, but I was raised on a very strict fuck dynasties law. I cannot root for dynasties.
Dude, people hate
So-
Was
dynasties.
this a family rule or a TISM rule?
No, this was just a don't root for teams in your own division.
People hate
rule.
them. They hate dynasties. I've had to deal with it as a baseball person for the last week. People hate the Dodgers. They think baseball is broken and they hate the sport. And it's not even a dynasty yet.
Dodgers
people
aren't even
hate
3.
dynasty.
I
That's
know,
what I'm
I know
saying.
it's like,
follow baseball
well,
enough to even know.
die
That's what
is
I'm
2,
saying.
but no,
Yeah, that's
you're
what I'm
not a dynasty
saying.
unless you have 3.
They haven't even won back to back, and people hate.
No.
And people hate.
Do you
them. It's
do you
like-
consider Eli Manning's Giants a dynasty? Do you consider
Well,
Ben Roethlisberger's Steelers a dynasty? No, you
this
don't.
is a hot take. This is a
3.
hot take. I think Eli Manning should be a Hall of Famer purely based off of the fact that he beat Tom Brady twice. I know.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
I said earlier that Super Bowls and playoffs don't really matter that much. In that case, I'm Eli is kind of
Eli is the exception to the case.
right. He's the exception to the case. Build the argument however you want, and I think beating the greatest quarterback of all time twice in the Super Bowl gets you a special plaque. In my
So
opinion.
we're gonna go around the room as the last thing we do on this recording of the podcast.
We're picking the
Give
Super
me
Bowl.
the Super Bowl that you think is going to happen. So just what you've predicted. The Super Bowl that you would most enjoy watching, and what Super Bowl you think would create like the best game. So, Tommy, I'll start with you since you look the most strung out by this
I'm gonna
question.
go with my predictions and go Bills Eagles. As for the most exciting game, I don't know. I don't know what would be more exciting. I feel like Commanders. Oh, because have the Commanders won a Super Bowl recently or ever?
No,
I
no,
thought they won
Not
one.
since like the 90s.
Yeah, I
Early
thought-
Two.
90s.
The last time they made the
Uh-oh.
conference championship was the last time they won the Super Bowl. Was
Did
then.
they not win a title in like the 70s or the 80s with Doug Williams?
You are aware the 90s came after
No,
the
no,
70s. and 80s,
I
right?
understand that. I'm saying they've won a Super Bowl though. I'm saying
92.
Doug Williams.
Literally, 92.
Yep.
If
Yep.
that's the case, I would say probably the Bills Commanders would probably be the most exciting because they're both fighting for a Super Bowl win. Whereas obviously the Chiefs have plenty. And the Eagles are
How down bad is Dan Snyder right now? Just
Fuck that dude.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not upset about it. Like
I'm
he's just
happy
down
about
bad,
it.
But having lived in both Eagles territory and Bills territory, I'm gonna have to go Bills Eagles as the game I want to watch.
You live in all three territories. You live in Commanders territory.
You live in that
you were
Baltimore,
there
you
for
live in
quite a
that
bit.
Baltimore County. You live in that DC area.
No,
That-
I never
You
lived
in
in DC,
Virginia.
though. I lived in Virginia.
a little Langley, Virginia.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
You
never
were dealing
followed-
that crack on the wire.
But that's the thing. The Commanders aren't very big in Central Virginia. Like no one's like running around.
Baltimore joke.
Like Bills. You walk out the corner, you can see fucking Bills jerseys everywhere. You go to Philly, Eagles everywhere. Virginia,
Yeah, it's bad. I
who
mean,
are the
you go,
Commanders? Who the fuck knows?
you go
Like,
to
no
like the
one's
western part.
I think a
No-
lot of
no
that
one's
has to do with
waving
the
the-
fact that
no
they
one is
have
waving
been
the
so
Commanders
bad. I think that
Yeah.
if you were to go there
That's
this
a Dan
time
Snyder
next year,
problem, though. That's
it's a
Dan
different
Snyder
story.
problem.
I was there. I
think
was
it's a
there
Dan-
last month. No one is waving that Commanders flag anywhere near Richmond, Virginia.
No, but the thing is, like that's
it's
I
not
agree.
a team. It's not a team. The fan base is going psychotic about. Now the DC area, yeah, different.
I
You
think
know where the team's located?
I think it is a Dan Snyder issue, and also I think it's both because you see with I think Buffalo is an exception because Buffalo is a fervent fan base in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Buffalo Sabres, like
Smaller town.
they've been garbage for 14 freaking years in a
Let's
row.
be real. Buffalo
And-
fans would show up for literally anything.
Buffalo,
They'd show up for
Buffalo
Fox
is
the
a
Cross.
different kind of demon. Like my God, these people love their teams.
I would say Philly's the same way. I would put Buffalo and Philly in the same bucket.
I kind of want to give them a baseball team or give them like a.
I wouldn't even put Philly in the same bucket.
I don't
because
even know,
Philly's just
like-
a toxic fan
Yeah,
base.
they're. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Bills will still support the.
I
other
don't want to lump. I don't want to like
Whereas
lump all
Philly is
Philly
just, like,
fans
live
together.
without
But then you see some of the videos on social media, and then you're like, "Wow, this is not great."
Well, like the Bills Mafia, they after the whole game on Sunday with them, I forget the player's name, but whoever dropped the catch in the last play,
Morgan Andrews.
they raised like over $10,000 for his charity just within like the past 2 days.
Yeah, but
Because of all
that's
the death threats that he's been getting, they're like, "Oh, we'll be nice and support you."
yeah. But deep down, they're like, "Thank God for dropping that."
Philly would say, "Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
fuck you deserve this."
Yeah. Philly fans would. Yeah.
Connor?
Yeah. So of course, like I said, I do think it's going to be Eagles Chiefs. That's my actual prediction. I would like to see the exact opposite of Bills Commanders.
Bills Commanders. Yes.
I think that'll be the most. I think that'll be what I would like. But I do think the most exciting game would be Bills Eagles. I do think that'll be a very good kind of good offense at the same time, also a grudge match.
Yeah, I agree.
Brandon?
Yeah, I want. I picked Eagles Chiefs a while back. I'm pretty sure I picked Eagles Chiefs for or preseason pick, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll get to that in a minute.
I could be completely wrong about that, but I'm almost positive I picked that as my.
I will read
preseason
I will
pick.
read those off in a minute. After
You don't
bad.
have to do that.
I would say Buffalo Bills and Eagles would be the most exciting, but then it makes me think of Bills Commanders and how you can make the meme I'm just a Bill, I'm only a Bill.
Really?
no one's making that one.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They're not doing that. Yeah, I think Bills Eagles would be the most exciting, but I think it's going to be Chiefs Eagles. This isn't anything against Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes is still the best QB in football, and I think he's going to prove that yeah, I think he's going to prove that. So I'm going to go Chiefs Eagles, and yeah.
All right, so I'm predicting, unfortunately, Chiefs Eagles, which is the one I want by far the least of the group.
I like how you gave us some suspense, and then you're like the least.
The one that I think would be the most entertaining to watch would be Eagles Bills. I do think that would be a lot of fun. Saquon, Josh Allen, AJ Brown. However,
a clash.
Commanders Bills. Let's get stupid in this bitch. I mean,
why do you want Jaden Daniels to win a Super Bowl?
Because I love Jaden Daniels, you asshole. Jaden Daniels is the man. Jaden Daniels is. I remember when I said, "Hey, Brandon, I think Jaden Daniels is going to be a better NFL quarterback than Drake May," and you looked at me and said,
I did not say
"You
that.
stupid as hell."
I did not say that. I said they were both. I said all three of those QBs were very, very close, and they're all better than anyone else you could possibly draft in the last 4 years. And you said, "Well, I don't know. I really like Bryce Young," and I was like, "Well, I really like Drake May." So that was how that conversation went.
Yeah, I liked Jaden Daniels and Bryce Young. I liked about the same coming out. I probably give a little bit of an edge, honestly, to Bryce Young coming
He's
out.
Played so much football. I can't stress how much football Jaden Daniels has played.
He was good at Arizona State. He was throwing the.
I can't believe they were clowning
Ayuk.
him. I won't forget it. I can't believe they were clowning him. They were like, "Goodbye, loser," and posting in the locker room.
Yeah.
Good luck. Just unreal behavior.
Just awful. And now he is a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League, the best rookie quarterback these eyes have ever seen. Especially the guy that I would have given that title to previously was
Cam Ward over Caleb Williams?
was the former very skinny, very fast Washington rookie quarterback by the name of Robert Griffin III.
I still worry about him taking hits because he still doesn't get down and get out of the way.
But he has extremely good pocket presence to the point where he can limit the amount of hits he takes there. And, get a sliding coach maybe. Tommy, you were going to say some extremely
hurtful things.
I'm going to say triggering and downright prejudiced things.
Prejudiced.
Well,
prejudice against
I was only
me because they were stupid, said by me.
Please bring up the
predictions. If you want, I can save them till next week. But
no, bring them up now. I want to gloat before it all falls.
Hold on, I gotta ask: is the 2024 season score count playoffs?
It should.
I am, yes.
All right, that means technically with Brennan's picks, I just clinched it for the year.
You did clinch it for the year.
Hey, good job, Connor.
The Bengals did me in.
And Mitchell coming in a whopping 4th place, 20 points behind Connor. Oof.
That's fine. It is what it is. I took a big swing. I really thought the Jets were going to be something this year, and holy mother of tits, they were awful.
What was my Super Bowl pick?
You had Dolphins. You had Chiefs 49ers.
Chiefs 49ers.
Who had the Dolphins?
Me. Hey, but I had him playing the Eagles. The Eagles still have a chance.
That wasn't biased at all.
Brandon had Chiefs 49ers. He still has a chance of getting half a point on that one.
And who did?
Connor had Lions versus Bengals. He was close on the
Bengals break my heart. They broke my heart.
All of us had a team that didn't even make the playoffs.
Yep.
In the Super Bowl, I just had mine winning because I had Jets over Packers.
Man, if the 49ers did make the playoffs, I think they would be in this game.
What? What? They didn't. No. What? They won 6 games this year.
That's too bad.
I'm kidding. What? They have the season from hell. You can't.
Man, I think if the Jets were good this year, I think they'd be good this year. What?
Mitchell, they did have they had Ricky Pearsall get shot. There's just a lot of bad.
The entire season watching the Jets felt like getting shot.
Come on, let's not compare the two. Come on now.
And on that note, enjoy the conference championship weekend with your friends and family. Commanders and Eagles, Jaden Daniels, I love you. I'm sorry I had to pick against you. I won't do it much more frequently. And Bills
I can't believe you
Chiefs.
changed your pick just because I said lean on him.
Oh, once you start leaning on me, I gotta pick the Eagles, man. I can't pick against it. But folks, how about you lean back on the couch and enjoy yourself a nice championship week of football. Goodbye.